Mandatory safety requirements for lifting appliances and anchor handling winches. Introduction. SOLAS introduces mandatory safety requirements for onboard lifting appliances and anchor handling winches. As per the existing practice, International Labor Organization (ILO) requirements are being complied which were focused on the cargo gear and associated equipment. Entry into force. The Maritime Safety Committee of IMO introduced these guidelines, which enters into force on January 1, 2026. Applicability. These requirements apply to vessels holding a safety construction certificate. Lifting appliances. The scope of the regulation is extended beyond ILO requirements to include provision cranes, engine room cranes, and other lifting appliances. Anchor handling winches. Applies to the winches, windlass and associated equipment, and loose gear used for handling anchors. Exclusions. Lifeboat davits, life raft, and rescue boat launching appliances are generally excluded unless they serve a dual purpose, example, also functioning as a provision crane. Definitions for compliance and operation. Anchor handling winch, AHW, specific terms. Brake holding force, the maximum force for which the winch brake is designed. Brake holding capacity, the maximum line pull the winch brake can withstand without slipping. Maximum line pull, the maximum sustained force the winch is capable of pulling. Static bollard pull, the maximum sustained pulling force a vessel can generate at maximum power, 100% MCR, and 0 forward speed. Wire, a dedicated line, wire rope or chain cable, used for anchor handling. Chain stopper, a device used for securing and holding a section of wire, relieving the load on the winch drum. Lifting appliance specific terms. Safe working load, SWL, the maximum static load at a specified radius, which the appliance or loose gear is certified to lift for a specified operating condition. Personnel roles. Competent person, a person with the required knowledge and experience for duties specified in the guidelines, acceptable to the administration, often involved in thorough examinations and testing. Responsible person, a person appointed by the master or company with the required knowledge and experience, often involved in routine inspection and maintenance. Design, construction, and control requirements. Standard compliance. Anchor handling winches and lifting appliances must be designed, constructed, and installed according to the requirements of a recognized organization. Certification. Equipment installed on or after January 1, 2026 must be certified. Marking. Lifting appliances must have the safe working load, SWL, permanently and clearly marked. If the load rating is variable, a diagram showing permissible loads must be displayed. Anchor handling winches require a permanently affixed nameplate including maximum brake holding capacity, maximum line pull, and maximum static bollard pull. Anchor handling winch control features, speed control, must be capable of hoisting and lowering in a controlled manner with adjustable speed control. Winch operating controls must be of the hold-to-run type, meaning motion automatically stops when the control lever is released. Tension control. Anchor handling winches must be equipped with tension control to prevent overloading if the anchor gets stuck or entangled. Overload monitoring. Winches must have continuous load monitors and an audible and visual overload alarm, which should be programmable for lower load levels. Spooling device must be equipped with a remotely operated spooling device. Testing requirements. Load and commissioning tests. Initial requirement. Lifting appliances, LA, must be load tested after installation and before first use. Periodical requirement. Lifting appliances must be retested at least once every 5 years. Repairs. Retesting is required after repairs or alterations. Test load calculation. SWL less than 20 ton, 1.25x SWL, and SWL more than 20 tons and less than 50 ton, SWL plus 5 ton. Anchor handling winch, AHW, initial tests. An overload test to verify the capacity and structural integrity. Test of the emergency release and residual holding force performed with the wire attached to a strong point, onshore or seabed. Verification of residual brake holding force after emergency release. Function test of the whole system, including static bollard pull test and brake holding capacity test, unless the winch is not designed for towing. Maintenance and periodic thorough examination. Schedule. Maintenance and testing must follow makers and classification society requirements. Inspections. Particular attention must be paid to corrosion or damage of primary structural members. Example, winch frames, crane jibs, wear of mechanical components, gears, bearings, brakes, and the condition of electrical and control systems. Loose gear should be inspected by a responsible person before each use. Thorough examination by competent person. winches and lifting appliances should be subject to a thorough examination annually. Timing. Required annually during SOLAS surveys, upon completion of any load test, and before re-entering service after major structural repairs or modifications. Operational testing. Periodic. winches and associated equipment must be operationally tested annually. The 5-yearly test must be witnessed by the administration or a recognized organization. Records. Records of thorough examination and testing, including certification of test and thorough examination, must be maintained in a register, often known as chain register, and kept on board. Loose gear and handling inoperative equipment. Scope. Loose gear includes items like hooks, shackles, blocks, and lifting beams used with winches or lifting appliances. Proof test. All LG must have documentary evidence of a proof test and be retested after major repairs. Minimum test loads may vary by item type. Example, single sheave block requires 4x SWL. Marking. LG must be clearly and permanently marked with its unique identification, serial no, the SWL, and any additional marks required for safe use. Thorough examination. LG must be thoroughly examined annually and upon completion of any proof test. Inspection. LG should be inspected by a responsible person before each use. Protocol for inoperative equipment. If a responsible person deems the equipment unsafe or non-compliant, it must be taken out of service. The equipment must be clearly marked not to be used. Master's responsibility. Master to account for the inoperative equipment when planning a safe voyage. Prevent the operation of the inoperative or defective equipment, which has to be marked and stored separately. Personnel operating winches and lifting appliances must be qualified, familiarized with the equipment. Records must be maintained on board. Thank you for watching the video. For more marine topics, please subscribe the channel. Please help us with your valuable feedback to improve the contents.